Okay, hey, what's up, y'all? So welcome to another alternative factuals video. I'm just gonna do something really relatively simple. But as you already know, the show Black Lightning is gonna be ending after season 4. The news did specify it was not canceled. And for those of you who probably are thinking, like the show had low ratings or something like that, believe it or not, the show wasn't doing bad overall. Of course, up front, because the timing in which the show was on was like 9 to 10 p.m., I believe. I think either Monday or Tuesday. So it was during a time that I believe like a nice chunk of people were not online in terms of not online, but they weren't like necessarily fully awake or maybe preparing for bed, because the last time we had this show on, people were still working. So at that time, people had to be in bed by a certain time because they had to be up in the morning. And then people usually would watch it a lot when the season came out on Netflix because, people tend to have the same work schedule or consistent work schedule for the most part. So I just want to debunk that in terms of it wasn't really a ratings issue. People were watching it, not necessarily, live directly on Tuesday when the show was coming out, but people watched it on Netflix, on the CW app. People were going back to watch the Black Lightning TV show, so it had a very high DVR rate. But I kind of want to get into the reasoning or why I suspect that the show might have been canceled. I'm going to play the first 4 minutes of this clip that's on China Anne McClain's Instagram. This is public, and then I'll put the link in the description so you can see what's going on. But I'm pretty sure it has nothing to do with ratings. I would say it's more of along the lines of like creative differences and things like that regarding the show. But before I dive into the video, just like, share, and subscribe. And I do all things black, comic books and people of color, stories and all that stuff. Eventually I'll get into, but but this video is more or less just to talk about Black Lightning. So subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Bring more information to this discussion, and we're just gonna play the first 4 minutes of this clip.
Hey y'all, so there's something that I want to tell you. For those of you who haven't heard, and if you haven't heard, I'm sorry, but this season that we're filming of Black Lightning now is going to be the last season of the show. I didn't find that out until yesterday. I found out with everybody else. I didn't know. But what I did know and have known, along with the rest of the cast, since before we even started shooting this season, is that I am leaving the show and was leaving the show. This was going to be my last season, regardless of if it went on or not. For different reasons that, to be honest, I don't want to go into. I just want y'all to trust me on it. I didn't want to tell you until I had to. Now with this news breaking, I thought it would be the right time. But I knew I was going to have to tell you at some point because I only agreed to do a certain number of episodes. So I'm not in the whole season. And obviously y'all were going to notice that, given the fact that I've been in every episode in the past 3 seasons. There's been a lot to happen over this quarantine. And I'm not talking about the PC side of it. I'm not talking about that. These things are real. These people that are dying. And the way of the world now. It's real. And all this is an illusion. It's an illusion. This industry, for what it is, and everything that people look to and praise, it's not important. God is moving me in more than one way than just this show. It's bigger than this show. I'm doing God's work now. And I'm not doing anything else. I'm just gonna put it plainly. I'm not leaving because I had a terrible time working at the CW. I like the CW. I like Mark Pedowitz. I like Peter Roth. Greg Berlanti. I love Celine. I always will. He gets it. And people that actually know me, not people that I've just spent a lot of time around filming, but people that know me, they know why I make the decisions that I make. And they also know that I never make a single one of them to hurt anyone or affect anybody negatively. But I am doing God's work now. And that is all I'm doing. I don't know why I was wasting time before.
All right, so as you can see, for the first 4 minutes, I think for the first 4 minutes is kind of the foundation of what she talks about, and then for the rest of the video, it's kind of like she's reiterating and kind of repeating herself in just different ways, because you can tell she's upset and all that stuff. So I mean, I'm not gonna knock it. You know, whatever her reasoning is for leaving the show, that's her business and her business alone. So but what I think is going on the TV show is, it's not the ratings, like I already said in the beginning of the video, but we knew a week ago that the Black Lightning TV show is getting a spinoff with Painkiller Khalil, who ultimately has a close relationship with Jennifer, China's character on Black Lightning. Now, obviously, the spinoff came regardless, because she specified that last season all the cast knew that she was going to be she's going to be leaving the show, and that, you know, this season she was only going to be on contract for like a couple episodes. But what I'm gathering, or what it seems to be, I've watched the entire video, so you can watch this as well. I'll put the link in the description to her Instagram profile with this video specifically. But it seems like she wanted to leave for whatever reasons that it may be, and that because of this choice that she made, she might have been a part of the reason why they kind of decided to not continue with the show. And the reason I feel like that might be a part of the reason, or she might have been a domino in that factor, is because I did mention this in several of my other Black Lightning videos I did, like, 6-7 months ago, something like that, that she ultimately was, her and Anissa were going to be the characters that kind of take over for Black Lightning, despite the fact that he had not necessarily issues with them, but sometimes he get a little frustrated with them because he wanted them to grow up and kind of be these responsible, decent human beings. And the reason he was doing that was because he was supposed to kind of go back into retirement, sit down and, live his life with Lynn. He will still have his powers. Maybe he'll still, every once in a while come out, but nothing too extensive. They were supposed to take the front seat. At least, that's the vibe that I got from the CW. They were kind of making Jennifer and Anissa kind of the centric. If you've seen also some of my videos, they made Anissa more powerful than, in my opinion, than she was in the comic books. But then also they made Jennifer kind of more powerful than her father, which I'm not just saying it because it's not comic book accurate, but they intentionally nerfed Black Lightning but made Jennifer more powerful than her father, because she was able to go into space, absorbing, UV radiation, like anything along that electromagnetic spectrum. She was able to absorb. She was able to generate her own power. She didn't need to absorb other things. So they made their daughters more powerful than, I guess the father, in a sense, so that way they can have the tools they needed to kind of beat who they needed to beat. Jennifer became cool with Geoforce, Brandon. Basically, there was a lot of young team members a part of Team Black Lightning who kind of helped build this up. And the fact that, we found out the Painkiller TV show, and then also the fact that she confirmed for the most part that, they already knew that she was leaving. I'm pretty sure because the show could not take the direction that they wanted it to take, regarding her being her one of the main characters to stay on the show and kind of lead the show, I'm pretty sure that could be a part of the reason on why they decided to not continue with the show. And because of the choice she made as an actress, whatever her personal reasons are for leaving the show, which once again I will reiterate is none of my business, ultimately her choice might have affected some of the other cast members, crew members, whatever the case may be, because the studio was not getting the show direction that they kind of wanted, which was, I guess, the original plan. And that kind of can, be upsetting because she's crying, she's upset. And then also seems like some people, maybe on the set, maybe on the crew, maybe some people in the studio, whatever the case may be, don't understand her reasoning, and they kind of blame her. And she did not intentionally mean to hurt anybody. Remember, she said this literally in the clip. She did not mean to hurt anybody with the choices she makes. So I do believe that a part of the reason why this show is getting canceled is because she was a main character. She was in every episode, like she stated, but then she wanted to leave the show. She wanted to do her own thing. She wanted to, kind of, do whatever she got to do. And then at that point, she could not, the studio could not, I guess, continue with the show the way that they wanted to. And it was too drastic of a deviation from their main story that they wanted to tell. And she ended up, kind of being, I guess, a part of the factoring reasons on why the show will not continue. Now, once again, I'm not entirely sure. This is me making, kind of trying to put pieces together. I'm just kind of trying to mark things off as I go down the list. I know it was the ratings, but just running across this video and kind of seeing and then the news and how she's reacting, and I'm just trying to see maybe we can piece together the reason why, because I love the show. I love Black Lightning, and I always will. One of my favorite DC characters, one of the most powerful DC characters, along with him having one of the most wholesome families on TV we've seen in a while. So just let me know in the comments what you think. Your opinion on the reasoning. Why maybe she's leaving, or maybe some other reasons why the show may not continue. And, like, share, and subscribe, and I hope to see you later on. Peace out.